let a few people roll in here, and then we're going to have a blast today. Something that's really helpful for everyone, not just non-native English speakers. It's to help everybody be more engaging and more impactful when they speak. But yes, this is aimed at non-native and introverted speakers of American English. So that really does apply to a whole bunch of people, and we're so glad to have you here. If any of our guests want to just jump in and say hi, please do. Just unmute, feel free. And Chandni, you want to say hello and tell us where you're from, or drop it in the chat where you're coming from?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Chandni, and I'm joining from Toronto, Canada. Thanks, Linda.
Nice to have you and see you again, Chandni.
Likewise.
How about Camille?
Yes, hi, good morning. I'm calling in from Menlo Park, California.
Very nice. Nice to meet you, Camille. And Melanie? If you're shy to jump in, that's fine. Or if you can't, if you're in a place where you can't jump in, that's fine as well. All right, so we know we have more people signed up, but we'll start anyhow and get this rolling so that we can have fun and ask lots of questions. Drop a chat in anytime you want to ask a question. At any point, we have a small enough group, then at any point, if you want to just raise your hand, we'll find the first spot that we can to break our rhythm, and we will invite your question and come up with an answer for you. So again, welcome.
Yeah. And Linda, maybe it would be a good moment to ask our participants to turn on their cameras so that we can see each other.
If you are in a place that you can do that, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Hello, Tiffany. Hi, Andre. Nice to see you. If anybody can turn on their cameras, that's great. If you're at work and you can't, we understand that. Hi, where are you coming from, Andre?
Hi guys, I live right now in Chicago, but originally the country is called Moldova.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend named, my trainer is from Moldova.
Yeah, okay, nice. I was thinking you don't know the country.
Oh my gosh, and so
Yeah.
your primary language is Romanian, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. He calls me Linda. He doesn't say Linda. He calls me Linda. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Oh, and I do have a
Yes.
word for you. He'll go, Linda, divide. How's that sound?
Okay, that's a Russian word.
Yeah, so he's married to a woman who speaks Romanian and Russian, and
Right.
our guest host, Marian, also taught English to Russian speakers. So glad to have you here, Andre.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
glad to be here.
my trainer's name is Dinu.
Okay, nice.
And he's been a friend of ours for 10 years. So yes, I know the country. And I know that it borders on the Ukraine. So we've talked to him about that. Tiffany, where are you jumping in from? Or Fayu, if you want to jump in as well.
Hey there. I'm actually from San Diego, California.
Nice to have you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, wow. That's so great. Thank you. And Christian just sent you a panelist request. Okay, perfect. And hi, Rahul. Nice to meet you. Where are you jumping in from? Okay, if you can't unmute, that's fine. You could just drop it in the chat. All right, how about it, Marian? We'll get started here.
Yeah, let's get started.
Super. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I really feel like you're going to really enjoy this because it's a lot of fun, and we've put a lot of fun into this as well. So I want to start with one thing. This is a very safe space, okay? We are very, very accepting of all cultures, all nationalities, all problems that people might face as far as, speaking, communicating, getting by, what people think of them. I mean, this is a very safe place. And we are here to teach something that you can use right away. It could be useful to you as soon as you walk out of this meeting and it will resonate with you, I am sure. So let's have a great time together. And I'm going to start with a short story that came to me from a client before we get into a little more depth. She said that she was leading a presentation and she was full of great ideas, but people kept leaning in and asking her, wait, what did you say? I didn't understand you. She wasn't being heard, not because of her grammar, not because of her vocabulary, but because she wasn't really stressing the right words. Now, she didn't realize that. I went over the speech with her and I was able to give her some input. So she didn't tell me it was because I wasn't stressing the right words, but we are going to talk about where do we put the stress, the emphasis, or the pitch rise. Those three words are going to be interchangeable in today's session. Okay, so this is not stress like, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I have a big test. It's not that kind of stress. It's how do we stress a word to make your message come across exactly how you want it to come across. So let me introduce myself. My name is Linda Nelson. I am a speech therapist by education. I have a master's degree in speech therapy, but I call myself a speech clarity coach. I work with, again, mostly non-native and introverted speakers on how to become clear and confident, but really go from unheard to understood to unforgettable. And I want them to be able to raise their communication to a point that satisfies them. Doesn't have to satisfy anybody else. Okay, it's where you want to get to. So I want that to be clear. We want you to learn for your communication, not for what someone else tells you you should be. We also we ask you to embrace your accent because we want your accent to be your greatest asset. And we are not here to change any cultural identities. In fact, we love learning about other cultures and the exchange of cultural nuances, like when I was talking with Andre before, some cultural things, like I'm sure he plays football. He might be laughing right now. I would also like to introduce you to my special co-host, Marian Ola. Marian and I met in New York City pre-COVID at an event. And when we introduced ourselves, I'm like, I am a speech and language coach and, whatever. And I asked her about herself and she told me that she spoke 4.5 languages. Well, folks, my jaw dropped. Now, jaw drop is a idiomatic expression, which is sometimes hard for non-native English speakers to understand, but that meant I was like, what? 4.5 languages? I speak one language. So I was absolutely amazed with her. And of course, the question was like, what is the half a language that she speaks? So I was absolutely amazed by her as a human at that moment. And I loved meeting her. And we went to several meetings and kept seeing each other, but we collaborated on this today because I think she can bring absolutely great value as a person who is a polyglot and speaks so many languages. So over to you, Marian. Tell the group who you are and what you're about and what you do.
Thank you so much, Linda, for this kind introduction. And I'm going to keep the suspense here a little bit and tell you about that half, or I would rather say quarter of language that I speak later on in the program today. I am passionate and absolutely take great pride in developing people, both as individual clients, team and group clients in corporations. I work with individuals who would like to develop their communication skills, want to be visible, want to be influential, who want to take up higher and higher roles in their organizations, and want to influence their stakeholders across the board. I do this through different activities, including a personality type assessment, and a free gift is coming up. Just look out for that at the end. And my clients come from across industries, including IT, medicine, pharma, financial services, higher education, telecommunication. And so this is what I do. And I also bring in that leadership development expertise throughout my 20 years of experience creating workshops, facilitating workshops around leadership competencies. So I stop now and I give it back to you, Linda.
Thank you, Marion. So what I hear you saying is that you really, really love working with individuals and groups in their leadership and executive skills. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Great summary.
And with me, it's more about the speech and communication. It's a little nuanced down a bit, okay? So just so you can differentiate between us and what we can bring here to the table. Now, here is the main question. I called it the golden question. How do you know which word to emphasize in a sentence? Well, the answer actually lies in what carries the heart of your message. In English, we tend to emphasize what we call content words. These are words that carry real meaning. They're nouns, they're main verbs, they're adjectives, they're adverbs, words like solution, belief, powerful, change. All of those words would be content words that you could choose to emphasize, stress, or take a pitch rise in. Okay, Marion, over to you for the second part of that.
Yeah, so while those content words are the showstoppers, there are other words, including the, is, and, to, that we call function words. They are the grammatical glue of sentences. They make sure that all of those content words are attached to each other in a meaningful way.
I love the word grammatical glue. That's great. It does. It holds that sentence together, right? I get it. So when you're deciding what to stress, what do you ask yourself, Marion?
I ask myself, what idea do I want to land? What is my message? And what words carry the emotional and the informational punch?
Okay, what's that punchy feeling? That's where the stress belongs. I love it. And here's the magic, folks. By changing just one stressed word, you can shift an entire meaning or emotion of a sentence without changing a single word. When I say without changing a single word, the words can all be the same, but depending on what word you want to emphasize, that could change the entire sentence. So I want to jump in here with a little coaching hint. It's learning to listen. This is just a little 2-minute side note, and it's the speech coach way. Marion will actually tell you about how we are taught to learn to listen, but what for today, bye, Camille. Hopefully you can get a copy of the video and give us your feedback. Have a great day, Camille. Okay, so learning to listen for today just means, what are you hearing? Are you hearing when a word goes a little bit longer, a little bit louder, a little bit higher? And so we want you to turn on your ears basically today and learn to listen to what sound actually goes up. That's how you're going to first embrace this, and then we will show you really specifically on how to do it. So, Marion, what do you think is the typical way that people think about learning to listen?
Well, we learn to listen, first of all, through our eyes, observing the nonverbal, physical aspect of the communication, gestures, eye contact, mimicry on the face. Also, we listen with patience, giving enough airtime, and maybe even leaning forward. And we also listen with our heart, with empathy, to get the emotional content of the message that we are hearing.
And that's wonderful, but that's not what we're teaching today, right? No. So I just wanted to make that clear to everybody that we are teaching that longer, louder, higher way of stressing things. And we're first going to learn to listen by listening to this hysterical video that I found on LinkedIn the other day, and we're incorporating into this. Now, there is a sentence, and there are multiple actors. They are British actors and or celebrities that read the sentence, the same sentence, with emphasizing a different word with each actor or actress. It's very funny. Give us a few minutes, sit back and turn on those ears.
To be or not to be. That is the question.
Sorry. I mean, yes, yes, but if you don't mind a note, or to be or not to be, because it's the choice.
Try this. To be or not to be, that is the question.
No.
To be or not.
No, to be or not.
No, look, to be or not to be, that is the question.
So
Just calm down, right? It's simple.
Or.
Don't lose focus. To be or not to be, that is the question. Yeah.
To be or not to be,
so
that.
land on it.
No, idiots. To be or not to be, that is the question.
Lend me your ears. To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Okay. How did you like that? Was that a good? Andre's laughing. Did you see it? Did you feel it? Did you see how many different choices there were?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad someone else is laughing. I hope other people found it funny. But we thought it was a perfect example of what we're trying to do here today. So, Marion, did you hear the difference in emphasis, stress, and pitch? That's, all interchangeable words for this exercise. Did you hear them clearly?
Yes, I did. And it was a funny little skit. And the sentence changed completely depending on which word was stressed.
Oh my gosh. So now we're going to play a little game that is almost an exact takeoff of that, except we're not going to say to be or not to be. That is the question. Oh, where did I put my emphasis? To be or not to be? So I am going to read a sentence that is relatively flat sounding. And I'm going to ask Marion to read it, emphasizing different words. And all of you, what I would like you to do is just type in the one word that she stresses in that sentence. Okay, so this is the game we're playing now, and we'll see how it goes, all right? The sentence, again, I'm going to read it relatively flat, not very exciting, kind of boring, and that's not how we want to speak. We want to have a lot of vocal variety in our voices, but I believe climate change is impacting our lives. I believe climate change is impacting our lives. There wasn't a lot of excitement in that. I know there wasn't. I tried to keep it down. Marion, read that 4 different ways for the group here today, please.
Okay, so here is the first way. I believe climate change is impacting our lives. I could read it one more time. I believe climate change is impacting our lives.
All right, could people take a second to type in the chat what they heard her stress? What is the word that she stressed? Chandni, good. Oh, I gave it away by saying Chandni was right.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I ruin my own games. I'm sorry. There you go. Everybody. Yeah. Okay.
You got it. Okay,
Right.
super.
I won't ruin the next one. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so the second variation, I believe climate change is impacting our lives.
Can you read that again for me one more time? Because I think that you emphasized the third word a little bit.
Oh, okay. I believe climate change is impacting our lives.
Okay, okay, good. Believe. And you would hear that because not only did she have a pitch rise a little bit, she also like extended it a little. I believe climate change is impacting our lives. The first time I heard her read it, I heard, I believe climate. So like climate was also stressed. That's that learning to listen thing that I do because I'm a speech coach. Okay. Okay. Go with the next one, please.
Yes. So the third variation, I believe climate change is impacting our lives. I believe climate change is impacting our lives.
Beautiful. Chandni? You want to type it in or tell us? Actually, it was just climate, but
it was just climate
change. She came down on change a little. Climate change. Thank you, Melbert. You got the right word as well. And a fourth variation.
Yeah. I believe climate change is impacting our lives.
Okay. I believe climate change is impacting our lives. Oh, I give away hints, right? my hands a lot to help people, but yes, impacting. Shandi. You can put LOL after that as well, because yeah, I gave it away. But thank you, Marion. You did wonderful on that.
You're welcome.
Okay. Andre might be laughing as hard as he was for the British video there. But we're going to move on to stress in 2-syllable words. But before we do that, I'd like to ask Marion to really talk about the uniqueness that is Marion, which is her 4.5 languages and all that she does. So Marion, before we do this, can you tell the viewers how you primarily learned where to put the stress in words across all those languages that you speak and know?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Linda. So I speak 4.5 or quarter languages. The quarter is French. I have basic proficiency. I can, get along in France, no issues with that. My native language is Hungarian. And I also learned English and Russian on the university level, and I used to teach English and Russian as foreign languages. And the fourth language is Spanish. I learned it by myself and also had a private tutor and took workshops or language classes. Now, how I learned the stresses, how to stress in different languages, I realized early on that each language has a different melody. And Spanish language is very, and also the Russian language is very melodic. The speakers of the language use a lot of intonation, a lot of pitches. They sing in those languages. Now, Hungarian is different. It's a little bit more, it's not monotonous, but we are not singing with the language itself. And the French, oh, that's like poetry, if you ask me.
That's a wonderful explanation. And Tiffany wrote that is impressive. And Tiffany, I do agree with you. I'm going to give you the scientific, the nerdy kind of speech reason for this. We have different languages are either considered stress timed or syllable timed languages. It's a quick explanation to get to the fun readings that we have that we will be interacting with. But a stress timed language is American English. We actually find the stress in the sentence. Like, where do we want to emphasize that sentence? I'm going to talk about South Asian because I've worked with a lot of South Asian speakers. I know there's many language across the country, but they have a very up and down flow to their native languages, most of them. And that is called a syllable time language, where they emphasize like every other syllable versus a stress. So I would have to look up some of the other languages, like I'd have to think about Moldovan or actually Romanian. Romanian is like a romantic language. I would have to look them up if they're considered stress timed or syllable time, but that's exactly what Marion's talking about. Okay. So if you are from Eastern Asia, East Asia, it's a very flat, monotonous tone. Okay. So it's just, I want to go to the store with you. And every word is separated by like a space, almost it's very robotic. It can be very mechanical or robotic sounding. And that's not to be negative. That's just to understand why is that most of the words in Mandarin, for instance, are monosyllabic, one syllable. And so it's easy to break them down. And in American English, we bring a lot of words together through something called linking and reduction and all those geeky terms that is not about today, but we are going to get into a really, really important lesson right now. And it's talking about two-syllable words. And Christian, I'm going to ask if you could throw in the slides. We are going to talk about a word and how it's pronounced either with a pitch rise or a stress on the first syllable or the second syllable. And depending on if it is stressed in the first syllable or the second syllable will determine where you emphasize it, but it'll also be if it's a noun or a verb. So if you saw this word addict or addict, like you wouldn't know where to put the emphasis. So you're going to think, and this is a general rule for noun verbs and words that are spelled exactly the same. Believe they're called homographs, not homonyms. I think they're homographs. Okay. But that doesn't matter. If you see a word and you're like, I don't know where to stress that word, what syllable do I put the emphasis on? So before we talked about where are we stressing in a sentence, now we're talking about in a word, like, and we're not going to get into multi-syllabic words today. We're going to talk about two-syllable words like these. So on the first one, I'm going to give you a read on the first one and maybe the second one, then let Marion do the third and fourth. And then we're going to ask for volunteers to read us some sentences if you would like to participate. So, and this is a great way to, it's a great way to practice. So on the word addict, if you see, I actually bolded and capitalized what part of the word I want you to have that higher, louder, and longer part. So addict. Jim is a video game addict. Jim is a person who plays games and cannot stop doing it, right? He's a video game addict. I just found out that part of my team are video game addicts. I think the longest run was 2 of them played 16 hours together at one point. Just a little funny side note. But if you want to say, if you keep playing that game, you will get addicted. Addicted. You don't say addict, you say addicted. So I could combine that sentence and say, Jim is a video game addict. He is addicted to playing video games. Now, we put the stress in a noun on the first syllable, and we put the stress in a verb on the second syllable. And I'm going to put this over my black coat like I'm doing a peace sign, but it's also, as one of my coworkers pointed out, it looks like a V. So the verbs are stressed on the second syllable. The nouns are stressed on the first syllable. I'll read you conflict and conflict, okay? The 2 friends were in conflict. Conflict. They didn't agree about something. Your 2 accounts of what happened conflict. It's the verb, it's the action word, conflict. Your stories don't agree with each other. Okay, give me a thumbs up if that was clear, if it's resonating with you. Yeah, getting a couple of thumbs up. Anybody want to give me a thumbs down? They need some, or just jump on, unmute and jump on if you're a little confused about this. Okay, so nouns, first syllable, verbs, second syllable. Okay, peace. Okay, so, oh, the only reason I'm going to take the third one, Marion, is because this one was a fun one that I used to use when Donald Trump, and this is not this, we're very apolitical here. So whatever you believe is fine with us. During his loss. So after he was president, during his loss, I was using this as an example. He was he was taking part in a contest, the election, right? Contest but he was contesting it. Contesting it. So Donald Trump was contesting the contest. Okay? The contest was the election. He was contesting it. That was the action. The actual noun was the contest, the election. Okay, I hope that made it clearer. All right, do you want to try contrast and contrast, Marion? Whoop, I can't hear Marion now. Marion, you're muted. Okay. There you
Yes,
go.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, so contrast and contrast.
Right.
There is quite a contrast between their political views, which is a big difference. And then when I use the verb, I will compare and contrast these two reports. You see, I'm a second language learner of English, and I run into these little traps. So let me say the second time, I mean, with the verb, I will compare and contrast these two reports.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you for, and look, learning to listen, she picked it up. I tell my clients, my goal is for them not to be my clients for very long. I want them to learn how to pick up the differences that I taught them and to recognize it, not beat themselves up, and then self-correct. Okay, so just what Marion did. Can you bring up the next slide, Christian, and we'll see if some people want to read a few?
Mhm.
Okay, does anybody want to do convert and convert? Anybody raise their hand? If not, okay. Oh, by the way, Christian is dropping in to the chat how to get in touch with either one of us. Okay, at this point here, he has put in the chat Marion's website, her LinkedIn, and how you could schedule a free 30-minute discovery call with her. Okay, this will happen a few times throughout the sessions so that you can pick and choose and see if there's somebody, either one of us, that you would like to talk to after the session ends. Okay.
Or even better, talk to both of us.
Yes. Thank you, Marion. Perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'm going to ask Jana, are you able to unmute?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can. Can you do the two sentences for convert and convert?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna read the first one. First one is convert. He is a convert to Buddhism. And then the second one is, I'm sorry, you will never convert me.
Right. Okay. So that works perfectly with religions, right? He is a convert. It's a noun. It's his identity. It's who he is. But you will never convert me. That would be the action word, the verb. That was well done, Jana. Thank you so much. Oh, Tiffany, do you want to read one before she has to drop off? All right, Tiffany, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, hi, just joined from LinkedIn Live. Ariel, nice to meet you. I'm going to let someone else read the next one, and then if you want to jump in, you're welcome to jump in and try this. So, Melbert, can you try decrease and decrease?
Okay, just give me a moment. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right, so there has been a decrease in sales recently. Next one is we need to decrease the payroll to make us more profitable.
Excellent. And you can see where those two words could be linked or read in sequence and mean the same thing. There has been a decrease in sales recently. We need to decrease the payroll to make us more profitable. Is this resonating with, I can't see everybody's names. Let's see. Okay, let's see if anybody else is still in here. Or did we lose a few? Oh no, there's participants, 15 people. That's great. Okay. Hi, just joined. Nice to have you. Let's see. I'm seeing if Camille left. Okay. Does anybody, Christian, do you want to try this one? Import
thing.
and import?
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity to try this out. So if we read it as a noun, it's import. And then the example is coffee is an import from Colombia.
That's great.
Yeah,
Now,
and then if it's a verb, import, right? And then if we read it inside a sentence, we read it as we would like to import more coffee over the next few years.
Okay, so the second one was a verb, the V, okay? And that's great. Importing something is actually an action. Okay, so anybody want to give it a shot? It's okay if you are a little shy, but we like people to try to jump in and okay, we'll do a few more because we just had Ariel jump, I think it was Ariel jump in from LinkedIn Live. So we want to make sure that we show her exactly what we're doing. We're trying to show, not we're trying to, we are showing you where to put the stress in a word. And we are giving an example of if a two-syllable word is spelled exactly the same, how do you know how to say it if you're a non-native English speaker? So what we've done is we've broken them in this exercise down into nouns and verbs. And if you did join late from LinkedIn Live, we will absolutely love to send you a video recording of this. And we are offering 2 free gifts. I'm just going to drop that in here now. One is from Marion, which would be Marion, what test is that again? It's the
Yes, the free gift is the personality type assessment, Jung typology test, a free assessment. And once you complete it, you can schedule a 30-minute discovery call with me. I have my calendar link in the chat, and at the end there will be a QR code where you can also find the information.
That's great.
I would love to support you in your growth and development as a leader.
So that's a personality test, right? Okay. And I am offering a free speech screening call, but it's done by an AI. So we don't need we will send you the link. We'll get you into that little program. There's just 3 questions and it analyzes your speech. It will even give you schools that I don't deal with, like TOEFL, TOEIC, all those different scores, and you can read your results, see where you might need help, and you too, if you want to discuss your results, can schedule off of my Calendly link a 30-minute free consultation as well. So we'll do a few more of these and then we'll just open it up to questions. Okay. Who wants to do the next one? Okay. So we don't have to continue doing this, but I want to give you my best hint for this. Okay. I want you, my favorite one is, I suspect they caught the suspect. I suspect, that's an action. I suspect they caught the suspect, the person. So my suggestion to all non-native English speakers is find your favorite one. Remember that. That's it. Okay, then you'll know noun, verb. Whoop, sorry, noun, verb. And when you come across another word or words like this, then what do? Go back to your sentence that you love. I suspect they caught the suspect. And say, okay, suspect is the person. So noun, it's the first syllable. Okay, so then verb, it's the second syllable. And then you can work through the problem and you can solve the problem. So that is my suggestion and my takeaway for you here. Let's see. Oh, I'm dropping this code, this word code in for any of the people who have registered but couldn't show up. They are also entitled to the free gifts, and that is a free AI speech screening and Marion's free personality inventory. Use this word when you write to us and ask us for the free video, please. Just write the code word speech ACE, ACE, speech ACE. So this is just a little code word in here so that I know that people have watched the video, and that because it costs Marion and I both money to give these free gifts out, and we just want to make sure someone gets some value out of it. We are not trying to sell anybody on anything. We are trying to give you value from this point forward. But so just type or just write down the word speech ACE. Christian, can you just type that in the messages right now? Speech ACE. Or I'll do that. Okay, I got that. SPEECHACE. There we go. All right. So let's talk about, we just talked about some free offers, the personalized AI speech analysis and personality inventory. Let's talk about the biggest takeaways here. So let's recap on our takeaways. So how about we just alternate with giving some takeaways here, Marion, all right?
Yeah, and before we do that, I see that Ariel would like to read out this last.
That's great.
Yeah, Ariel, would you mute yourself and give it a shot?
Sure. Hi, both and everyone else in the call. It's I'm French. It's
Orally.
yes, Aurélie. Yeah.
Is there
So,
a rolled R, orally?
well, it's a French R, not rolled. It's more from the back or of the throat. So Aurélie.
Aurélie.
But you can say Aurélie. English speakers call me Aurélie, and it works great.
Okay, well, good. Thank you, because we really tried to say everybody's names the way they want them
Yeah.
to be said. Some people are
Yeah.
like, whatever you call me, you know. But thank you so much for that. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
pick one and read it.
Yeah. So I'll do the next one. Insult.
Yes.
So first example, she took it as an insult. And then as a verb, please don't insult the staff.
Is that something you were clear on before, or is this something newly presented?
I think I was doing it correctly, stressing on the right words, but not knowing that there was actually a rule behind it.
Right. Right.
And it makes it easy to remember and for people to understand where to put the stress on.
Oh gosh, you just made my day, Orly. Thank you. Christian, go to the next slide. Let's have Orly do one more for us. Okay.
Permit?
Mhm.
Do you have a permit to drive? And will they permit me to park in front of the apartment?
Right? Think about it. Do you have a permit, a thing, a noun, but
Yeah.
will they permit? Will they allow me? So permit and permit. Thank you so much, Orly. I'm sorry, I couldn't see you when you raised your hand. That's so true. But
That's all right.
Melly, come on, try one for us. Unmute and try one for us.
Okay.
I know. Melissa.
Yes, hi. Hey guys. Wait, the next one is present?
It's both. It's present and
present. My bad.
Okay.
So the noun is I'm sorry if I get this wrong.
Okay.
I think it's present.
No, the first one.
Oh wait, present.
A nice present. Present.
She gave me a nice present on my birthday.
That's perfect.
Okay, then the next one is verb. Present.
Yeah.
Allow me to present my findings.
Perfect. So think about this, Melissa, right? It's Melissa, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I want to present you with a present. I want to present, it's an action word, giving you, present you with a present, a gift, a noun.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Orly, I'm so glad that you picked up that, yes, you might be doing it right, but no, you didn't know there was a rule. Okay. That really was, that's your takeaway, people. We're done. So we're so glad you joined in. Does anybody want to try one more? We're here for you. No? Okay. Am I missing anybody? Chris? No? Okay. Melissa, you want to try one more, or are you good? I guess she's good. Okay. So our takeaways then, Marion. Boy, I had fun. I really had a lot of fun today. Thank you, everybody who attended. And I know some people dropped off, but I'm so excited about today. So to recap, it's where you put the stress really does change everything. And Marion, do you want to give us a takeaway?
Yes, it is very important for us to communicate clearly, and we have an idea of what we would like to relay, but it is important to know the mechanics of how to say words and how to say phrases and sentences, so that the meaning that we have in our minds actually or what the other person hears. And this is how we are able to communicate clearly.
Chandni, do you have any feedback for us? Is it something that you learned, something that you were doing, but you learned anyhow, like Orly?
Yeah, I think, same thing for me. I didn't know there was a rule. Like I was just kind of doing what everyone is doing, but then now I see that for nouns and words, like there is a rule that for nouns, you put the stress in the beginning of the word and verb is near the end. So that really makes it, I think, even when when I'm actually speaking out, it would really make me more confident because I know that like I'm putting the stress in the right places.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is why we're here, guys, girls, folks. Thank you so much. So now you have some tools to make your words land with greater clarity. What we promise to bring everybody is value. We do this once a month on the third Thursday of the month. I will give you my little secret on why I call it the third. Well, it is on the third Thursday of the month. It's kind of a joke between my team and I, but most languages that I work with, non-native English speakers, have difficulty with the TH sound. And so I made it the third Thursday of the month. So there's the TH in the beginning and the TH at the end. So, but it's also to help people remember, oh, wait, it's almost the third Thursday of the month. Maybe, well, not maybe. Linda will be doing some topic and I can learn from it. So we are here to bring you value. I do have a different guest speaker each month, but hopefully we can bring Marion back on as well, since she is so inspiring, and hope you all take advantage of the free gifts as well. Anybody have any questions for us before we call it a day? Oh, thank you, Steph. Love today's live event. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank you again. Oh, 'twas amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. All right, well, thank you all for attending. And Marion, what we will do, just to you, so you know, oh, Ariel, thank you for jumping on. Hopefully you follow us and come back next third Thursday. We're gonna leave the room now, Marion. We will jump on another Zoom call. I'll send you an invite for just a quick debriefing, okay?
Okay.
All right, Chandi said thank you, Linda and Marion. This was great. Chandi, I'll be in touch with you today. I did get your message this morning. All right, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Linda.
Good day. Have a good day.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.